Welcome to the home of the DIY movement, where we build stuff and paint things.
All right, welcome back. We didn't do an intro because it's already getting hot and we got to have the fans going as soon as we get out there, man. But when we last left off on this car, we put the steering column in and mocked up the steering wheel. We also put the dash with the padded dash in there. In this video, we're going to basically start the wet sand or continue the wet sand process. That's already kind of been started. The top of the hood and the quarters and doors were already cut in 1000 grit. And in this video, we basically get the entire car up to 1500 grit wet sanding. So let's get started. So these videos are going to be sped up 8 times, but basically what we did was we sanded the entire car, or the sides I should say, with 1000 grit. I'm using a motor guard block, and I think Bob's using a Dura block on the other side. We're using the Sunmite finishing discs, 1000 grit. We're blocking it by hand. You can see I have the little emblem masked off there. We eventually took that fuel injection off so we can get a little bit better detail around it. So this clear is, man, probably 6 months old at least. It's SPI Euro clear, and it is rock hard. But the Sunmite does cut it. It does take some effort, and we did go through some paper. But what I'm using there is a 3M squeegee. I got that on Amazon. That's actually a really good thing to have. In the past, I've just used towels just to clean up the mess, but that squeegee, I really like it. And they're on Amazon. I want to say it was like 20, I don't know, it was under 20 bucks, I believe, somewhere around there. Well worth it. We're staying away from above the wheel well, in between the wheel well and the body line. We're staying away from that with 1000 grit. We'll probably address that maybe in the 2000 grit stage. Honestly, the finish on this car was not that bad. It was flow coated, so the clear slicked out pretty good. Like I say, it's been 6 months. It's done all the shrinking it's going to do, and I think it's even better that we're kind of taking our time wet sanding this. We cut it open, it sits for a week, and then we move on to our next grit, and then it sits for a week. So it's basically going to take about a month to do this. Doing that, I believe, helps the clear breathe. You open it back up and it breathes, and it kind of, I guess, maybe the solvents evaporate more, and you just get an overall better end result. So I'm using the spray bottle, no bucket sanding. Use bucket. I've said it many times on the channel. You can introduce some rocks or some debris or something, dirt, into the sandpaper and then be scratching the car. So squirt bottle, spray bottle, and sandpaper and block. That's it. In this stage, at least. In the 1500, which we're going to get to in a minute here, we use a DA.
How hard do you press on it?
Medium, I guess. Why? Am I going way faster than you?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to also. I'm not taking it all the way down because there's still 3 more grits that are going to continue to sand. So it's like, I mean, on the 60, I didn't even do it to the fenders. It's just like the 1500 grit. I mean, most of the time I start with 1500. Yeah. So we're starting with 1000. So the 1500 is still going to remove. So, I probably cut it down about maybe 70% with this. Okay. Yeah.
Here, the side of the car is finished in 1000 grit. As you can see, I personally don't like to work all the way up to the edge with 1000 grit or work deep into any contours with 1000 grit or coarser. because you're going to have to get in there and you know, refine those scratches. And then eventually you're going to have to get in there with the buffer. So what I do is kind of the big flat areas. You can see how the texture kind of transitions right there from smooth to texture. What I do is I use the big flat areas. We do those in 1,000, and then with the 1,500 we're going to go a little bit further, and then, you know, with the 2,000 we go a little bit further, and then to a 3,000 we go a little bit further. So eventually it will be all covered with sanding scratches, just not in the coarse sanding scratches. Here we are, we're looking at the roof. The roof looks really nice. It does have some nibs. It almost doesn't even need to be buffed, honestly, but since we're doing it, we're going to do it. And that finishes straight out the gun. Here what I did was label the dirt nibs with the Sharpie marker so we know where they're at. And then we follow up with 1,000 grit on a little cut down Durablock just to knock them down. You can see there's just a few, man. It's really minor. Really, I'm really satisfied with the finish out the gun on the roof. But Bobby wanted to wet sand it, so that's what we did. There's the block. Here I am using the DA. What Bobby did was basically he scribbled all over the car with a Sharpie marker, and then I went over it with the DA 1500 Sunmite paper. Same type of paper, just as finer grit. That's a 3M DA I bought specifically for this. It's made to, I guess, for this process. I posted a video on Instagram, and we got some feedback. One guy said that's a big no-no to use the Sharpie markers. I'm looking for opinions on that. I did it on the 60. I've done it on other cars, and I haven't had any issue. They claim that it can bleed through the clear into the base coat. I don't see how that can happen, but if they say it's happened, then maybe it's happened. I mean, maybe if you leave it on. We left the Sharpie on for a total of maybe 2 hours, and that clear is 6 months old, so I don't see it being a problem. I used the same process on the 60. It wasn't a problem. Maybe different quality clear might yield different results. I'm not sure. What's your guys' opinion on that? So here we are, 1500 DA. Then we followed it up with 1500 on the hand block, just to, you know, take the little edge off. So here is the roof. I think we dialed this in a little bit more further in the video throughout the day, but everything's looking good. The trunk has already been wet sanded and buffed. Here is the Sharpie markers that I was talking about. So basically we're using that as a guide coat. I did try the Mirka dry guide coat, and it made a big mess.
Taking pictures of yourself or what?
Yeah. Taking selfies.
Alright, so the car is in 1500. The trunk is already done, which kind of jumped the gun on that, but we probably have to run the buffer across it again. But it cut down nice, man. Knocked down nice. We used the 1,000 by hand, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And then 1,500 on the DA, and then 1,500 by hand, just to make it a little bit flatter. Next up is 2,000, 3,000, possibly 8,000. We'll see. What you think, man?
A lot of wet work. Wet work.
Wet work. So, man, this thing is getting sent 1, 2, 3, 4 times before buff.
That good or what?
It's a lot of fucking work, man. To do this to this car is like 40 hours of work. But I think if we go 8,000, I've never went 8,000, but I think we go 8,000, it's gonna be really quick with the buffer. with the polisher.
Not by hand?
I mean, you can damn near polish it by hand if you go to 8,000.
No, I'm talking about 8,000 by hand.
It's basically a wet paper towel. Maybe not even that. But I hear it makes buffing a lot faster, a lot easier. So these stages are kind of repetitious because it's going to look the same on camera. But we had a comment on one of the videos where the guy had asked why are we putting the car together without buffing it first. So yeah, I guess for the best outcome you would buff it first, but you could still get the equivalent doing it assembled. It's just, I mean, ideally you'd want to buff it on a rotisserie, but you could still do it assembled. But if you look at it really, like, there's no molding from here down. You know what I mean? It's assembled, but there's really no molding other than the stainless, which when we buff or polish, we're gonna tape up the stainless real nice, and so it could be done.
And the parts that are not sanded,
we didn't cut. Yeah, they get covered.
they get covered.
So we took off the fuel injection. That's easy. Speed nuts. We left these on because these are special. These are using some special clips to hold it on. We don't want to disturb that. Took the antennas off. For this area, I don't think we're going to wet sand and buff this. I mean, maybe spot, but not really. They really don't need much. Looks good as is. So man, some people may just be joining. Like we filled the seam right here. Usually have a seam right here. That was welded up and body worked, so no seam. Small detail.
No upside down steering wheel.
You like that? Yeah. Super simple, man. But now all the nibs are gone. It all sanded down real nice. Now we're just going to refine scratches from here. The car was double cleared, so it was 3 coats of clear. We sanded it with 600. We added 3 more coats, and we started with 1,000. So I think we're knocking off like maybe 1 layer of clear. So we're still going to have like 4 solid coats of clear, man. So I'm not that concerned with burning through, but I mean that's always a concern. But you can see real fine here. We're staying away from the actual edge as we're getting right up to it. When it comes time to polish, we may tape because that's where you're going to burn. But
why do you burn there?
Because the clear is thin. Because the clear, so the clear you spray here is flat, here is vertical. The clear, imagine it being water and it runs off. So right here it's real thin. We stayed away from here. This section right here is real dangerous. For somebody who's first timer, you can get in trouble in this section right here because wherever you put sandpaper, you got to put the buffer. So if you go to sand all this real nice and then sand it 4 times and then you try and buff that, man, you got a body line here, a concave, and another body line right here. So that's dangerous. You're gonna burn through.
Is that why we didn't sand it?
Right. We'll sand it with 3000. But I know because I burned through on the 62 before on the rooster. Man, I had to run right here. Try to sand out, and ended up burning through.
So you're doing it this way because you've done it before?
Yes.
It's not your first rodeo?
No. But, you know, you just get kind of the flat, the big areas. Like, there's no need to go. I mean, really, if the clear looks good, there's no reason to even buff. But we had some some dirt nibs and stuff. Whenever we do
around the hose, should we put like tape in the back? That way the water don't get through, or is it still gonna get through?
I mean, yeah, you can do that. That's
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a little overkill, but yeah, sure. water dries. If it,
Because then you have the marks.
yeah. Oh, inside.
Yeah. Open it.
Oh yeah.
So then you have marks
Yeah, see that.
coming out the hose.
I know they're inside the quarter panel.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not that bad. And they're kind of hard to clean.
Because of the wrapper.
Yep. So if you put tape, you think it'll...
Help it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do that. So that's it, man. Video's kind of boring. We're probably going to do this like 2 more times on video before we start buffing. So, like we showed in the video, man, use the Sharpie as a guide coat. Use the Sharpie when you're labeling the dirt nibs or the bugs or whatever. Mark them, sand them when the Sharpie's gone. Your dirt nib is gone.
Only up to 1,500.
Yeah, when you go 2,000, 2,000 takes some work to remove the Sharpie. So, but it will. We'll experiment with the Sunlight. I've never used a Sunlight 2000. I always use the 3M stuff. So maybe we'll see.
Who showed you that trick?
Sharpie? Oh, I think I saw it on the SPI site a few years ago. You can use dry guide coat, but it makes a mess. Sharpie marker. Doesn't damage the clear. I wouldn't use it on primer because I've read of stories of it coming back.
Bleed through?
I don't see how, but maybe. So I wouldn't do that on primer, but clear coat. I mean, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's not coming back.
And you did it on your car, right?
Yeah. On mine, I did the same process. Label the nibs, knock them with 1,000 or the Festool, and same process. So that's it, man. Bring you guys back next weekend. Maybe. Might have to take the pup. Get a haircut.
Here is a picture of said pup. I am teaching said pup how to wet sand a car. She picked up really quick, and I think she's gonna make a good shop dog, guard dog. It's a Doberman. We used to have Dobermans, and so it's gonna be a new character for the channel here. So you guys are gonna be seeing more of Puppa Wup.